Conversations gang. How are we all doing today? A very special thank you to everyone that has subscribed to this channel. Thank you. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You're missing. So subscribe to Conversations with Omobola and you will not regret doing so. Today, we have special guests in the house. I know you're waiting to see them. Don't worry. But we'll be discussing a very interesting topic today. Intimacy issues in marriage. Get your cups, get your popcorn, sit down, relax, invite your friends, your neighbors, your families, and let's enjoy this episode together. Stay tuned. And let me introduce you to my special guest in the house today. This family has been an inspiration to me and my family. They've been married for over 30 years. Yes, 30 years. Join me and welcome the Oduolas. You're welcome, man.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Yeah. We finally did this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Also, I have. You need to sit down and relax for this one. This special couple have been married for 10 years. Yes, they'll be celebrating their 10 years later this year. All right. Awesome. Join me and welcome the Akadiris.
Hi.
Yay!
We're happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so great to be here, actually. Thank you for having us on your wonderful set.
Thank you so much
for the wonderful
coming.
introduction.
Thank you for honoring us with your presence today. I told you, you're in for an interesting time. All right, so sit down and let's dive into this topic. Uncle James, intimacy in marriage. Intimacy in marriage, really. We know that there are some issues that affect marriages, but we're just going to pick one out of it. I'm just going to discuss deeply. All right, so intimacy in marriage, issues that we face as married couples. And if you really want to check what is going on in the society right now, we see that marriages are being attacked, marriages are being affected. So we want to bring the affection, the emotions, the romance back into the home. So intimacy in marriage, what's your take about it?
Well, so that's a deep one, really. And that's kind of like the area that I always have issue with. Funny enough. We thank God. Yeah, intimacy in marriage is very, very simple. That is the core value of marriage for me. Okay. Some people will say otherwise, but for me, I think that's the real cocoa of the marriage itself. The intimacy with one another, God ordains it. God wants it to happen. It's part of, it's the hanging background of how marriage should work. In a good way. Okay. For me, the beginning is always good. And obviously when it gets to like counting years, then it kind of like wind down a bit. And it needed to be rejuvenated. Otherwise, it's just going to kill the marriage, really. And we struggle a bit with it. We're still struggling with it. And we pray that it's going to get better. For me, personally, with me, I complain a lot. People that knows me, we know this. I don't hold anything back. If I'm not happy, everybody will know. And that's part of, my wife's a very fantastic person, godly woman. And I commend her for that. But obviously, everybody can't be perfect. We are not Jesus. I'm not perfect too. I have so many perfect imperfections. But God is still working on me. With me, intimacy is the key for me. Yeah. And when I'm talking about intimacy, we're not talking about just sex, It's everything that comes with intimacy. As the scientists put it, there's a 5 core value when it comes to intimacy that we can actually experience. Talking about smell, touch, taste, 5 different areas that
Thank you so
sites. Yeah. So for me, it's combination of everything. And now, unfortunately, when one is taken out of it, it affects the other.
Yes.
And that is where the problem with me and my wife is now really. So I don't want to go too far. I want her to chip in now.
Really? So he made mention of something, he made mention of something, and he said that intimacy is really not really about sex. Really. So in what other form can we actually experience intimacy?
Like Mokushiko has said, the 5 sense organs in the body must be, in play, when we talk about intimacy. And, like he said, intimacy before marriage is more or less automatic. Intimacy after marriage is like manual.
Yes, sir.
When you're automatic, of course, you're automatic, and when you put it in drive, it just goes, right? Manual, you have to walk, you have to be shifting the gears yourself, So talking about other ways, before I go deep into that one, but because I know you asked some other questions. Intimacy is not just about sex. It's not just about sex, but it's a strong bond that holds everything concerning you. Your spiritual, your social, your career, everything, your child upbringing, you dealing with your family members, dealing with everything. You must come together to be able to, take care of those things effectively. And when that, like I said, is a bond, when that bond is strong, you enjoy your marriage. Yeah. When that bond is weak, something is wrong. Yeah. And that is when you begin to have a lot of issues that you feel you cannot manage. Primarily because, I will say this because many of us are not prepared for marriage. Maybe we just, like Uncle Chico said about sex, maybe we just said the sex was good. And you felt, this is it for me.
Yeah.
And you enter the river and you begin to see, you see shark you cannot deal with. You see whale you cannot deal with. You see, so in a way, I think marriage needs some form of preparation. People don't, especially what we see now, beyond being convinced. Like when I married my beautiful wife, I was convinced. I won't say I was prepared. Yeah. I won't say I was prepared because a lot of things came in like, okay, did I not see this one when... It was just automatic. You just want to see her. You just want to see her send you a message. You just want to be with her. It's automatic. But as soon as I do, you hook me, I hook you. Yeah. You begin to see what is happening.
Never saw anything.
What is happening? Yeah, you never saw anything because sometimes, maybe when you see something, you don't want to, if you genuinely love this person. Uncle Cheko said, we are not perfect, but we can work on our imperfection, to improve intimacy, in every area of, our life.
Yeah, but you made mention of something that the kind of intimacy we sometimes experienced before we got into marriage is quite different from the kind of intimacy.
Absolutely.
Definitely. 100%.
Now, my question is, what are those things that create those bonds, the activities, the actions that really create those bond or intimacy in the middle?
So one thing I would say about intimacy, and then I would link it up with your question. For me, intimacy, you can actually have intimacy aside, apart from getting married to my husband and we are intimate. You can have some friends that you can call intimate friends. Now, when you call people intimate, it means there's this special bond.
That's right.
There's this relationship that you all have that holds you, that is magnetic. So if you allow me to really talk about like the science of intimacy, even though I'm not a science teacher, I know in chemistry they have like the electromagnetic bond.
Married a scientist.
They have the electromagnetic bond, and then they have the covalent bond. The covalent bonds are the weaker bonds, while the electromagnetic bonds are the stronger one. Right? My chemistry is good. So you see, so intimacy, I'm now going to link it to those electromagnetic bonds. There's this force that attracts you guys, even regardless of distance.
Yes.
There are some of my friends that I have that, regardless of distance, we have this electromagnetic force. So we are very intimate. We are open to each other. Our communication is very effective. We can say anything and everything, regardless. And so bringing it now to marriage, intimacy in marriage for me, it's that effective communication, that bond, that closeness, that synchronization, that electromagnetic bond. And if I want to bring it to maths, everybody knows about the Pythagoras theorem. You talk about the opposite and the adjacent coming together, the square of both of them becoming the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse square is like your intimacy. So it forms the right angle triangle. So if you see a right angle triangle, there's no space between the triangle. It's closed, it's united, and that's how the intimacy whole thing is. If we talk about marriage, we talk about God, which is like the hypotenuse. You have the man as the opposite and the woman as the adjacent. And then it forms the threefold. Spiritually, you talk about God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. It forms that. So that's the thing. So when it comes to marriage, like I was saying, for me, intimacy before marriage, before we got married, I want to hear from my fiancé then, 247.
Yeah.
If you don't communicate, I'm like, what's wrong? Who are you talking to? You should be talking to me.
I'm special.
So the communication was 100% when we got married, before we got married. We'd always want to hear from each other. If you don't hear from them before 12 midnight, you can't sleep. You're like, when you get all those vibes, without hearing your voice, I cannot sleep. My night is dry. You just hear some very funny, some lines like this that are acting like, But the moment you now get married, you enter the cocoa relationship. You want to talk to your husband. I don't have time. Walk. What is it? So all of those things. So I'll just come from the angle of communication.
Yes.
Before we got married, or before most spouses get married, communication was perfect, was superb. They come into the relationship. I'm surprised to hear that there are some people that hardly sit down with their spouse and have a heart-to-heart conversation or a communication with them. Some spouses don't even know what's wrong with the wife and vice versa. They can't even discuss together. They can't plan because, they've allowed so many other things to, take over. And trust me, with what is happening nowadays, marriages, the moment the communication is getting detached, the lady is only thinking, is there a side chick? Is there somebody outside? And all of those things. So I'll just come from the angle of communication to answer your question.
Wow, communication as part of the essential tool when it comes to intimacy in any relationship, not even only in marriage, in any relationship. For your information, let me update you guys. Mabel is the world best mathematician in the world.
My pleasure.
So if you need a mathematics teacher for your child, please send an email to conversation@1. And I will link you up with the world best mathematics teacher married to the world best science star. The nice combo. Let's continue. All right, so Auntie Beams, I read something that they research really, but I really just want us to address it. They said that, not me, they said that most African men are not romantic. Part of intimacy is you being romantic, right? So they said that most African men, they are not romantic. So intimacy is hard to display or to even experience. So what's your take about it?
Honestly, that they say is actually wrong. Is actually wrong. I probably would say that it's wrong because I have an affectionate husband, and I have a very loving husband. I probably would say that I'm the less romantic person. And as a woman, if I have to compare both of us together, I actually give them, if there's anything over 100%, I would give that to you. And I probably will say that, sometimes it depends on nature, it depends on experience, it depends on the family affections and probably maybe what you see out there as well. Well, he is, and said, he is quite fantastic, and I can't beat it. And I've always tried as much as possible to be more romantic But to me, I don't think I think I'm getting there. Yes, I'm actually 30 years
there.
over 30 years over 30 years in marriage, or 31 over 31 years in marriage, really. And I probably would say maybe I'm about 80% now.
Wow.
So if you look at that,
No,
that
60%, yeah.
age,
He said 60%.
well, I'm giving myself 80%. And the reason why I'm
She's trying.
saying that is that because I know that I've actually come a long way.
Oh, yes.
I've come a long way. So, and being romantic is something that you can also kind of like learn. A lot of women or a lot of men will say, this is how I am. And that is that nobody can change me. I feel that is wrong.
It is.
We can all always learn how to be romantic, learn how to, unlearn things as well. You don't have to be the same way. You need to understand what is romantic to your husband and to your wife as well, so that you can all sort of like just be on the same order. They feel loved most of the time, rather than you trying to do things in your own way. At the end of the day, she's not getting what she wants. He's not getting what he wants. So that's the reason why I'll still come back to the part of the communication. You still need to communicate. For example, I don't like flowers. One, I've got hay fever. So if a man buys me flowers, definitely is not going to move me.
Yeah.
But I prefer that when a man calls me, texts me, touch me, those are the things that I feel that, okay, how are you? That's what I feel that is romantic. Whereas to also other people, they would rather prefer flowers. If their husband don't give them flowers, they feel that the husband don't love them. So the key communication is basically asking each other, what is it that you really want in terms of
Wow. So you, what I think from your point is the love language. I think the love language helps you to understand the kind of way your spouse wants to get the intimacy really good. Uncle Chis, what's your own love language?
It's all really.
So that you help.
It's all written. It's all written on me. You see, with me, seriously, I think with me and Bimbo, what really helped us is the kind of spirit she has. You see, the thing is, when you accept that, she said that she's not romantic. She is in a way. She is just not communicating probably the way I like. And the fact that she had that heart that is willing to learn and unlearn the whole stuff so that she can learn new things, that is, even for me, it's romantic for me. Because she's taking the effort to say, okay, what's this guy complaining about? What's he talking about that I'm not doing? What should I be doing? And she's willing to learn all that. So for me, seriously, that's being romantic, because you're killing yourself to want to please me. For me, that's okay for me. But you see, the thing is, like Wale said, that for a car to run smoothly, it has to be on automatic. And you need to learn your spouse's love signals. I don't want to be saying that I want to do this all the time. Let us look, engage each other, look me in the eyes. What do you see there? You understand? And those are the kind of where we are with the height we are trying to achieve now, really. And with me, I am super, super romantic. I am. I'm not going to deny that. I like it. I like to pamper my woman. I like to take care of her. I like to do things for her that will make her happy. When I see her happy, I am happy too. And it's always good to want to learn more. I still want to be able to do more. But this is where the problem is. If I want to do more and she's not allowing me to do that more, and you see, when we're talking about intimacy, I don't want us to, let's focus on intimacy in marriage. Yes. Because otherwise we're going to lose track. Yes. Intimacy in the marriage is key, very, very important. We talk about communication. How do you communicate? How do you communicate to somebody that is not receiving this? Because communication is not really about talking. Okay, correct. Correct. Back home in Nigeria, the way our parents used to talk to us, they don't communicate. They don't say things verbally. When we have visitor and you're doing something wrong, they look at you like this. Oh yeah, you know what that means. So those are the kind of communication we need to be talking about right now.
Yes.
So that when I look at my wife this way, you know, oh, okay, oh, you know. So those are the things that we need to put in place now to make that engine run smoothly. You know.
Oh, yes, my people, as we were saying, communication is key in intimacy. We cannot overemphasize that.
No.
It's key. How do you communicate? How do you want to be communicated to? How do you want to say the communication? We're going to break. I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for? Keep watching Conversations with Bola. Do it right now.
Keep watching Conversations with Omobola. God bless you.
Welcome back. We're still talking about intimacy issues in marriage. Of course, we can't talk about intimacy and not talk about the big cuckoo sex. Yes, we can't talk about intimacy without talking about sex. Are we ready? We're going to shake the tables now. The tables are going to be broken now.
Yeah.
I like this box.
Let's speak that. Yes, sex in marriage. Sex. We've even our marriage counselors, they've during their sessions, they've always been saying that the main cause or the major cause of divorce.
That's the only cause.
That's the only cause.
Honestly, it is the only cause.
It's the pata
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
Wow. How can we let's just talk about sex?
Okay. Bible said, man shall not live by what? Bread alone. It means that you have physical food, food for your stomach, then you have the food for your spirit. You ought to have the food of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
The food love understand is sex. If you are hungry, what do? You eat food. You know, sex is not something in marriage. It's the engine of the marriage. Honestly, if you look at the reason why you got married, except we want to deceive ourselves. Someone say, is it food? Yes. I say
food,
today,
yeah.
it is food.
Serious food, sir.
You need it, I need it. All right? That food, our father and mother ate that food and they brought us. Why don't you want to eat the food? And be full? Be full. Exactly. Yes. And fulfill purpose. You know? So, can two come together unless they agree? Yeah. You know, so many a times, after marriage, you know, even from the day of the wedding, everybody, you already, even in the reception, you're already thinking how you're going to remove everything and do all the action, you know. But after that, you know, before the kids begin to come in, the level of the frequency of sex is high, and thereafter it tends to decline. But focusing on sex is very, very important. It's something that we need to be having. It's not God did not create this organ for us to just be carrying around. You understand? just want wear boxer cover it, or women wear it, and you just move around. They are fantastic. They have to be touched. Yeah. They have to be utilized. And scientifically speaking, you know, they said organs in this biology now that is not used frequently tend to degenerate. That's the truth. It tends to degenerate. I want to start from the science aspect of now. You know, before I used to tell my wife would like, or my baby now. I don't want to say baby. She's like, all right. So when we say sometimes you're tired, of course, realistically speaking, maybe they may be tired and all that. You know, like, okay, is this in foods? I said, I wish God can do it such that, you know, you will carry what I'm carrying for some time, and I carry what I'm carrying for some time, and you feel what I feel.
What do you feel?
How do you feel? I don't understand unless you carry what I'm carrying. That is what is driving me. It's not me. It is what I am carrying.
It is.
Bible says, "Who is in me is greater than you." So it is very important, and for we as guys, frequently we need to have sex. we need to have sex because, like the research has indicated that we Africans, we're prone to have prostate cancer if we don't, should I say ejaculate, is a scientific word, ejaculate frequently. When you store sperm in your system over some time, you need to let go for your prostate to be healthy, scientifically speaking. And biblically speaking, they said, man shall not, it's not good for a man to live alone. Come and help. You say, you need a helper. It's not to come and wash plates. I can wash plates myself. It's not to come and sweep. I can sweep my house. Before you came, I was washing my clothes. Help me. In my career, fine. You help me. But realistically, some people are not even getting married. They are doing well in their career. They're doing all those things. Yes. But also, I'm not saying 100% in that area, but majorly, largely, you need to satisfy each other. Not just, I don't want to be biased now, like I'm focusing on men. Women need sex to look younger.
Yes, I'm going to hold you on.
Yes.
I'm going to start with Akadiris. Yes. Now, women, I think you rather find it very difficult to communicate how we want to be touched during this particular special period. Sure. So how can we communicate? Now this boils down to communication. So how do we communicate to our partners that this is how I want to be taught, and I will feel okay, I will feel satisfied? Because we see that, or from the research, we notice that women find it very difficult to even talk about how they want to have this session.
Yeah. Thank you, Mopana, for bringing that point out. I would say that even at the early stage of my marriage, that was a big problem for me, to communicate, to actually verbalize where I want my husband to touch me. And I would say that we Africans, especially the African ladies, we do have a lot of issues because one, not all Africans, I'm quite wrong, because as we go along, we begin to know some cultures that are being nurtured and being taught how to kind of like communicate stuff to their husband. And I think that they Akadiris, they do have a fact where they take all the ladies and they teach them how to cook, they teach them how to talk, whatever they want to do. I've never been there, but at least we've had some few friends who are Akadiris who actually told us what they do. But for we Yorubas and Igbos and Hausas and things, we've never been taught, or I've never had my mom. Actually, all I know that my mom has actually said to me is that be careful about certain cultures and some country and things like that. Because of course at that stage people don't really want an Hausa to marry Igbo to marry Yoruba, China to marry this. So there was that trend at that time. So they always want to make sure that you either marry Yoruba, you marry Yoruba, and that's it. And not an English man also. So nobody actually sat me down to kind of like tell me, okay, this is what marriage is, this is what sex is all about. So you just go in there as notice. So of course, when you end up getting married, and a man is touching you and you're feeling somehow, you're not sure how to react. Sometimes you want the lights to be turned off and things like that. But as you grow and you get to see what society is all about, and you know that, look, sex is ordained by God. Yes. And if he doesn't want it to be pleasurable, he will not do that. He made it to be satisfactory. Oh, yes. So he made us to feel that way. So why are we shy about it? So you need to either communicate, you need to talk to people, you need to read books. Of course, I'm not asking people to start watching things that they're not supposed to watch, like pornography and things like that, because that's a different thing on its own. But once you're married, you're free to touch yourself. You're free to tell your husband, don't touch me here. This is irritating me. At some point, there are some places that irritate me. But there are some places which is more pleasurable. So at some point, of course, he's enjoying it, I'm not enjoying it. So at the end of the day, I need to make sure. And we've had friends who actually verbalize that. They've actually not actually even traumatized at all. They don't even know what it is until we start talking about it. So people, when you talk with friends and okay, how it is, how is it doing, what are you doing, then you begin to acquire more knowledge. That was what we did then. Whereas the younger ones now, they already even know what to expect before they got married. So as you go along, if you feel that, it is pleasurable, if you are having pain, when they're doing it, go and see the doctor. There's something wrong. Or find out when your husband is touching you. Let him touch everywhere. You touch your husband everywhere. Also, men have their own sensitive part. Yeah, too. But I will not tell you my husband's.
Touch us. Touch us. We want to be touched.
Like, my husband will tell me, Exactly.
Oh my goodness. That's the intimate language. It's not only love language, intimacy language. Kill me. Finish me.
People don't understand Shemile because they spoil me a bit of what.
Finish me.
Finish me, right?
I'm ready.
I know, right? You understand?
I'm all yours, man.
So please be free to kind of like tell me, because Lauren, except of course, once you're married, let your husband touch you anyway.
Once you're married,
yes,
be touched.
Be touched. You can be touched anywhere.
Uncle Chukwu, I know you have a lot of things to say, but I know you don't be silent. You have a lot to read.
You know, I'm just happy.
Oh, they are not
just,
touching you well.
You can't even say that. You can't even say that.
Or you have been over touched.
No, seriously, I'm happy that we are letting this out, and I just pray and hope that these reach out people and they get help when they need to at the right time. It's not fun keeping quiet and you're not happy. With me, my delight is, for me to be really, really fully aroused, I need to hear it from the woman. She would be the one that will lead me. You know?
Too much secret out.
Yeah. So with
honestly, you guys are the leaders.
We are followers.
Honestly, with me, that is the way it works with me, and it's the vibe you're giving me that's give me the confidence to go, and you know.
That's what.
So we kind of like get ourselves. I mean, we are, like I said, we're almost there. You see, my own concern with my wife is when she's nearly there, she will just drop again.
There's a reason though.
The moment you start praising her, that well done, that was good. You just realize you've 79% today. Then all of a sudden you 40%. No, it's good to understand one another. Honestly, it's really, really very important. And like we're saying, it is the most important thing in the whole issue of marriage. God is a merciful God. You see, the initial understanding of God when He created sex was to populate the earth. But guess what? Because God is a good God, He put sex there. Sex could have been very horrible. That no one will want to do it. But God is God. He still make it to be pleasurable for both man and woman, so that the task He wants us to do, we are doing it with 100%
With ease.
you know. So because we are enjoying the benefit as well, you know, as well as pleasing God to populate the earth.
Keep watching Conversation with Omobola.
Keep watching Conversation with Omobola. Cheers.
Hi guys, keep watching Conversations with Omobola. Woo!
Please do not miss watching Conversation with Omobola.